When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can seem intense. Like breakup R&B intense.
I thought you said you loved the sweater that I got you. If you didn't, you could have told me.
Geico makes it easy. Just go to Geico.com anytime to update or check your policy without all the extra drama.
I even had a gift receipt.
Productions presents Connecting with Betty Jane Ware Show. Betty Jane is a third-generation seer and highly intuitive reader. She is a practicing witch with over 30 years in the craft. An international psychic, Betty Jane has a number of well-known personalities as her clients. Betty Jane is very much to the point, a natural reader, very intuitive with whom you immediately feel a connection with. Should you have a reading together, you will be calling back for future appointments. Betty Jane is currently working on her 4th book in the Connecting With series. Call in now to reserve your spot on the switchboard. The call-in number is 713-955-0594. Press 1 if you would like to ask a question to Betty Jane Ware. Enjoy this 1 hour of intuitive readings and healing.
Hello, and welcome. This is Betty Jane, and welcome to Connecting With. I'm glad to have everyone here this week. I have had 2 weeks off, and I am ready and raring to go and answer your questions. As you may or may not have heard, I've been out traveling in the UK for the last couple of weeks, and I've had a blast. I got to speak at the Tarot Conference in London about reading with tea leaves, and I did a lot of really amazing things while I was there, including being, stopped at the border. It was kind of interesting getting off my flight and going through customs. And when they asked the reason for my visit, I said a conference. And, of course, they asked what kind, and I said a tarot conference. And I guess I was slurring my words or somewhat sleepy, but they heard terrorist conference. And yes, I did get surrounded by border guards. I did get flustered for a while, and the only thing I could think of was don't crack a joke. And they did ask me to repeat myself, and of course I could not remember what I said. We did get it straightened out, and I did manage to get into London, no problem at all. But it was a nerve-wracking few minutes, I have to say. So I know my friend Tiffany there has some callers waiting. So why don't we take our first caller today, Tiffany, and that's caller 480. So whenever you're ready, caller 480.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Wonderful, wonderful. My name is Michael.
Okay, Michael, where are you calling from?
I'm in California.
Cool. And how can I help?
Well, a very interesting thing has occurred. I was presented, had a phone conversation with a gentleman this morning who is putting together a specific type of app and basically implied that he would just hand it off to me once the guts and so forth kind of gets rolling. And it looks like a new business opportunity for me. And I was just trying to get some insight and guidance around it.
An app like a phone app or something like that?
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Or and probably be a website as well.
Okay. Sounds amazing. Sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it?
Well, it's very interesting because I'm willing to work with him in another capacity as well as, being coached. But he's like, let's do this first.
Okay. Sounds like it's a great opportunity. Why do you feel like you're hesitating towards it? It feels like you almost think like there's something else going on there. I think it's a good opportunity, and as long as they're not asking for tons of money up front, I can't see why you wouldn't say yes.
Oh, right. No, there's no money on my behalf as an injection. It would just solely be my sales, and I would just kind of run with it and bring in the advertisers and so forth.
Yeah, I do see this being a good opportunity for you. I think that it's going to be a little more involved on your part than it is at this moment, but I do see it leading to other things for you. And I know you mentioned coaching, but is there going to be public speaking and things like that involved for you?
With this, I'm not sure in the sense unless it's to go into new markets.
Okay.
As we grow it, and then kind of get who this is geared towards, putting on seminars and to kind of build it up and how it can work for them. Because to the people we're directing this to, there's no charge.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I do see more public speaking and more groups, as you said, seminars and things like that. That's sort of where I was going with that. So, I do think this is a good thing for you, and it's just the beginning. Better things, more things will follow along with this sort of line of work for you. This is just a new
wow.
Not just,
Well, and it's funny. It's funny with this individual, the woman that introduced us.
Mm-hmm.
November 1st will be my first year in California, and I met this woman who introduced me to this guy, and it turns out he's exactly from the same area of the country that I'm from.
Well, that's interesting. So it's like it's
right, and she's no longer in the picture. So now I sent him something on a message about, hey, look into this in regards to this, that, and the other, and then all of a sudden he's like, call me. And this morning when I'm out walking the dog, and it's like, let's do this.
Absolutely. The best things happen when we're out with our dogs, don't they?
Yes. You're exactly right.
I think this is a fabulous venture for you, so congratulations. I think this is going to be a wonderful opportunity.
Wonderful. And, wow, okay. And then as soon as I can get out of bartending and doing this full-time, that would be even more magical.
Absolutely. It's a good time to make magic happen, and we're coming towards the end of the witch's year, so congratulations and good luck.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a great day.
Mm-hmm. You as well.
Okay, and then we have another caller waiting. I like this. Can we have caller number 805, please?
Hi, good morning. This is Donna. How are you?
I'm fine, Donna. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks.
Where are you calling from?
California as well.
Oh, cool. Must be a West Coast day.
Yeah. Where are you?
I'm in Toronto.
Oh, lovely. Never been. I'd love to go someday.
And how can I help you today?
I wanted to know about a relationship. If you have a feeling a relationship's coming in for me, I would like, to have a love companionship relationship. That would be permanent.
Yes. It's your turn, isn't it?
It really is.
It really is.
Yes.
I do see something coming for you, but not until the spring.
Oh, the spring.
Yeah.
Cool.
For you, it's about spring. There's something going on that needs to be finished before you can take the next step. So it's in the spring. I'm looking at about probably mid-April.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I can keep working on myself and having fun. I wanted to ask you, too, if it was okay. Do you see a little part-time job coming up? Because I do work 1 day a week. It pays well for the 1 day, but I just need more things to do. I don't have enough to do. Very bored, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a part-time job. What I'm seeing is something that you're doing on your own. So I don't know if you have something that you like to do, but it's something that you do on your own. It's like a hobby or something that you turn into something that actually makes a little bit of money for you. It's not something you have to do. It's something you want to do.
Yeah, okay. Now I take care of, I'm a companion. That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
Not even so much the home health, but companion, where you go to movies and you go to lunch and you play cards. It's like having a friend and getting paid for it.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
That's what I like.
I see something else happening for you. This is something that it's not companion. It's something else that you actually do. It's I don't know, if you, for instance, if you were a baker, it's like you started a cookie business or something like that. And of course, I'm just being generic and not.
Yeah.
But it's something that is actually a part of what you do, and it just turns into something more.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
Don't close your mind off to possibilities. They're coming.
Exactly. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, and our next caller is number 210. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. And what's your name?
My name is Mike. Sorry, Benji.
Hi, Mike. And where are you
My name
calling
is
from?
Mike. Georgia.
Cool. And how can I help you today?
I'm calling because I kind of wanted your insight. I've been getting to know this certain individual, and I thought it was taking one course. Now I'm thinking it's taking a different course, and I wasn't really expecting much to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if the other person's now wanting more, and I know they're busy with work and such, so I'm just kind of confused.
Aren't we all when it comes to relationships?
The thing is I don't even consider myself in a relationship with this person, and this weekend has been an emotional one. Why am I feeling this way?
Well, I think that any of the ships, be it a friendship or a relationship, they're both they both have emotional connotations. So if you were going into it looking at a friendship and then realizing maybe that this person wanted more, it might be a little confusing, and it can be emotional. I think that what you need to do here is sort out your own feelings before you can sort out your friend's feelings. I think that it's got the possibility to go either way. It'll be up to you. It'll be a lot of this is on you and what you want, and I think it needs an honest conversation with the both of you.
Yeah.
Because I could see it going into a friendship, or I can see it going into a relationship, but there has to be a conversation first.
Yeah. I mean, I would like a relationship with this person if it were to go there, and I guess the other person had kind of brought up the idea, but then they've just been continuously busy. I'm just thinking to myself, okay, where is this going? You see what I mean? It's like they're saying one thing, but then they're super busy, so I'm like, okay.
Well, I don't think it's busy for the reasons you're thinking. I think that maybe they've scared themselves off a little bit, but it's not because of something you said or done. I think that in this situation, they're, like I said, they sort of scared themselves a bit, and I think there's a big intensity of feeling that was unexpected. I think you both looked at this as a friendship, and then all of a sudden it kind of went, oh, where did that come from? So I think this was unexpected, so there's a lot to deal with, but I think like I said, an honest conversation is something that needs to happen to clear the air, because if you decide, maybe it's not what you want, at least you'll still have the friendship. And maybe if it's what you both want, I think it could be a really long-lasting relationship for you both.
Okay. Do you see this person reaching out to me? Because I kind of already tried yesterday and never really heard anything, and I figured,
give it time.
I know they were, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry?
We don't know what goes on in people's lives, so I think that yesterday just something probably quite personal, emotional happened for them, and they really were caught up. Send another text, see what's going on, and just ask for the time. And I know you're going to get it. And I think they've just scared themselves a little bit with the intensity of feeling. So don't push too hard. Just be there. They'll come back, but make the gesture. Don't push it, but make the gesture. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Okay.
Can I ask for clarification?
Yeah. No, when I say don't push it, I mean don't text your phone every hour. Just text your phone and say that you're here and you'd like to hear from them. And I know that they will come. I know that they will reach out again. Like I know that you will get a response. It just might not be as you would like.
Yeah, I'm thinking I may just kind of take a break for today and see if either he reaches out tomorrow or just kind of see where things go, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, don't just let them. You texted or you called yesterday. Did you do that today?
No, I haven't. I reached out to them yesterday around noon, just letting them know that, hey, I was going to be here if you want to stop by. And then I put the 3 words that, I told them that I missed them. And I just thought to myself, oh, why did I send that?
Because you do.
I know.
Honestly, it's not a problem. Don't worry about that part of it. Just, I would wait tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, give them another text saying, here, do you want to meet for coffee, whatever, and see what happens. Don't push too hard. Do you miss you? You did miss them, so don't be upset about it, or don't be afraid of it. It's true.
I guess it's just
it would have been
showing the vulnerable side of myself, and
yeah.
I've been hurt various times before, so that's just what kind of got me.
Yeah, there's a lot of insecurity coming through, but don't worry about that. You're a good person. You deserve good people in your life.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it.
Let me know what happens next week.
I'm sorry?
You said you'll have to let us know what happens next week.
I definitely will. Thank you again.
You're welcome. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, so let's see. Do we have another caller? Number 706, please.
Hello, this is Mary Ellen. I'm calling from Georgia.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's been a long time since I've been in Toronto.
Oh. It's been a long time since I was in Georgia, probably when I was 13, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's probably about the same age.
Oh, how can I help you today?
I had a little bit of a disturbing dream the other night, and I have a tendency sometimes, when it's vivid and in color, it just kind of like happens.
Okay.
But I had, and I really hope it's just not, I had a dream that my a good friend of mine, that his wife was out of town, and he got a call, and she had passed away.
Okay.
And it just totally freaked me out when I had this dream.
Mhm. As it were.
Yeah, because I dreamt of my grandmother's death and my grandfather's death, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I guess.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if you're supposed to talk about stuff like this.
Oh, that's okay. I can talk. It's my show. I can talk about whatever I want.
Okay.
Dreams of death. It doesn't always mean. Remember, death doesn't always mean a physical death. So it can be. It can be, but death usually means an ending of something. So it can be
like of their relationship.
It could be an ending of a relationship. It means new beginnings mostly. So, like a lot, yeah, sure, it can mean an actual physical death, but usually death means a new start, some sort of transformation or change that's going on in your life. It could be spiritual or emotional.
Okay.
Now, when you
Okay, so it could be something emotional that has to do with him?
Yeah, it can also be a wake-up call. Like maybe there's something that's getting away from you that you need to grab onto because you need to try something new. Maybe it's a health. Like there are a lot of things that death can mean. Because it's with a friend, I'm wondering if this is something like maybe there's a health warning or something like that they're not looking after.
I've known him for many, many years. You're talking many, many, many years. And we, at one time, were very involved with each other.
Yeah.
and we just happened to move to this town, and voila, I had no idea that they were here.
Okay.
And so, I don't know. That's what's kind of throwing me on that. So.
Okay. Well, you'd said that you had been involved at one point. Is there resentment there?
No, I think there's on both halves. There's, not resentment, but like we settled.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
we settled. So, and I think that emotions run deep, and I think that that we're both in situations where you don't want to. I don't want to say upset the apple cart, but you don't. You try not to, because there are other people involved that you don't want to. It's just very complicated.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Sometimes when we dream of a death, especially in this situation, it can mean that maybe there's a bit of resentment towards the person, not necessarily him, but if you've both settled in a relationship and you're dreaming that his wife has died, maybe not that you're wishing he was dead, but maybe you're dreaming this because this is something because you want the path to be clear.
Yeah, it's very hard. Because of the town, we're both very involved.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it seems like our circles have somehow got intertwined.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm a firm thing on destiny.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother used to say, you can run from it, but you can't hide from it.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure we've been put in this position for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird. I never dreamed in a million years.
Yeah, no, I think that in this case, knowing that you were involved at one point and that you've both moved on and maybe aren't as happy as you could be, you're dreaming of a way to find yourself clear back to each other. And, of course, that means removing the obstacles. And not that I'm saying you're going to physically do this, but you're dreaming of different ways to do this. So I don't think it means that this person is going to physically die. I just think that you're sort of, in your dreams, manifesting a way for you to be together again.
Do you ever see anything going forward with this, or?
Not unless your dreams come true, honey. So not at this point. I think that you've both settled, but you're in that situation and you're going to remain there because you've both made promises that need to be kept to.
Yeah, I think his is he's afraid of what he'll lose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Financially,
Yeah, no, I know. It's not necessarily emotionally, but financially, and there's some emotional stuff that'll be lost too. So you both have things to lose emotionally, financially, spiritually. So at this point in time, not now. It's not in the cards at this point. Maybe later on down the road, but they're not showing. My guides are saying not now.
Right. No, I know that. I know it's not now. It's just very weird.
Yeah.
Not weird, but it's difficult, especially when we're in a social gathering. It's very.
Yeah. And that's going to happen more and more. You have the same circle of friends and people around you, so that sort of situation is going to continue to happen. It's going to be very painful for you, but unfortunately, you both made other choices and decisions in life, and that's not likely to change anytime soon.
Does he feel awkward does he feel as awkward as I feel?
I don't think he does. I think that there is a certain amount of awkwardness, but not to the same, because his sort of thing is I've made my bed, I'm going to lie in it, and he's not thinking along the lines of any sort of change or future at this time. If something happens, maybe, but at this point, it's not even in his mind, so he's not there yet.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah, no, that's good. I was just, I just don't like I don't like the dreams of death because of past things,
Yeah.
So that just kind of really freaked me out.
Yeah. No, I understand that, but it's just your dreams. Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much.
Have
a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. So if we could have the next caller, number 586, please.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking my call.
Hi. And who am I speaking with?
This is Monica,
And where are you calling from?
Michigan.
Ooh, that's fairly close. That's nice. How can I help you?
I was trying to see, do you see a relationship coming up in my future?
Did you just get out of a relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you need to take a break for a while. There is one that will come, but it's later on next year. You're getting ready.
Okay.
So you've got this last relationship. You're not fully healed from that yet. So you've got some. Yeah, it's next year. It's later on in the year. Look towards the end of the summer.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. We have lots of callers today, and that's so exciting. So if I could have the next caller, 502, please.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Great. Thank you for taking my call.
And who am I speaking with?
This is Leanne.
Hi, Leanne. And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Kentucky.
Oh, cool. Bluegrass, right?
Yes.
That's great. And how can I help you today?
I was just kind of curious what you see happening in my love life.
Okay. I have to ask you a couple of questions here because I'm getting some mixed messages. It seems to me like there's been I'm getting a little bit of pain. Well, a lot of pain, actually.
Yeah.
Did you lose someone?
I had a breakup back in the summer, and then I had a quick rebound that just kind of turned into a kind of a love triangle because I was trying to deal with the old relationship, so it's been crazy.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of. I don't want to say this because it sounds like. Were you the other woman?
No.
Okay, because I'm getting because I do get the third person, and I didn't know if it was you or somebody else.
Right.
Yeah, I think that what's happened is that rebound was too quick for you, and I do see another person coming into your life again, but it's too quickly, so it's not going to last.
Okay.
Sorry. But so I do see somebody coming in, but it isn't. This next one's not going to last either. And I do see a couple of more short-term relationships before you finally meet your person.
Okay.
But you can have fun in the meantime.
Right. Exactly.
Sometimes we have to sit back and enjoy the ride. And I'm not saying anything horrible. I'm just saying there's a lot, and each person will bring something into your life that makes you more. We always learn what doesn't work in a relationship. So what these do is help you decide what will work in the relationship.
Okay.
But you do have a couple of short-term. You have a couple of frogs to kiss before you meet that prince of yours.
Okay. Well, great.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello. If I could have caller number 804, please.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine. I really appreciate you taking my call, and I had moved this past Saturday. I was living with my adult sons, and we was about to get on. I got two tortoiseshell. I had two tortoiseshell cats, and they were both female sisters. And I had gotten them from someone else. And when my son was carrying them to the truck, I put them in the truck. The latch on the side had broke off, and one of them had got away, and her name was Lucy. And I had moved 75 miles away, and I was hoping that my sons, I keep checking to see if they may have spotted her. And, they left the pet carrier on the back porch, hoping that, she would come back and, pick up the scent and get in the pet carrier and stay there, and they find her.
Mm-hmm.
So do you possibly see her finally coming back around and she's, her coming to be with me, because I wanted to give her a better way of living.
Yeah. I'm not seeing her return at this point. I think she's a little confused. So I'm not seeing her right now. I'm really sorry. I think, but what I have to tell you is I think that she's safe, but I don't think I think she's found a good home, but I don't think she's coming back. I'm so sorry.
Even though she was only gone for a few days?
Yeah, no, I think what's happened is somebody's realized that they have a well cared for cat, and I think they've taken them in, and I don't think that they've gone to taken them to the vet or the animal control or anything like that. I think that it's become somebody else's pet. I see her in a safe place.
Okay. Her sister's been meowing a lot, and and I think she's been looking for her.
Yeah, she is. She is. She's kind of lonely right now. She's not sure what's going on, and I think that Lucy is doing the same thing. But they're beautiful cats, and it does seem that she's in a safe place, and they have, and she's well loved. She's well taken care of, which is not what you want to hear. I know you want her back home with you, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I really do. Because I don't know how I can calm the other one. Her name is Lulu, and I don't know how I can calm her down.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, there's no way in the future that Lucy could want to come back.
Ask your son to maybe put up some signs, or maybe take out an ad in the paper or something, and see what you can find, or maybe put up a poster at the pet store or something like that, and maybe she'll come back. Maybe somebody will get a burst of consciousness and send her home. But at this point in time, not yet.
Okay, I had promised the previous owner that I was going to take care of them, and I don't think he'll be too happy, to know that one of them is gone.
It's not because you haven't taken care of them. When in the confusion of the move, and I know this because I'm in the middle of doing this myself, and I have a dog who's really confused. But in the confusion of the move, the cat got a little panicky and left, and that's nothing to do with you or how. It's no reflection on you or how you looked after them or anything like that. Don't take that guilt. It's just the situation. Try and post some posters or some flyers, especially in the vets or the pet stores or things like that, and see and hope for the best. At this point in time, I know she's well looked after, so even if you weren't able to fulfill that promise, somebody else is. Okay?
Okay, I was living in an apartment complex there. Do you know if she happens to be in one of the apartments?
I don't think so. I see her in a house.
Okay. Yeah, there are houses around the apartment complex.
Yeah, I see her in a house. So I don't know. She's not in the apartment. She's in a house. I think it's a matter of just getting some flyers out and seeing if maybe somebody has a change of heart or realizes that this is a much-loved pet and not just a stray.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you one more question real quick. I know you have to get to all the people. My sister, my youngest sister, she's been missing, I think, and no one knows where she is, and she hasn't been in contact either. Do you know what happened to her? Her name is Brenda.
She's missing, or is she just not in contact with you?
Well, she haven't really been in contact with anybody, and I live in the state of Virginia, and she's been in Connecticut, and I heard that she had a relapse and went into drug rehab, but after that, no one had heard from her since last year.
Okay, I'm not sensing her, but but not in the way not in a bad way. What I'm feeling is a lot of confusion. I know that she's still living. I know that's what you're looking for, and I know that she's still living. But you're right. She has relapsed, and I'm getting a state of confusion. That's probably because there is some use there.
Okay. Do you know when she might start contacting family?
She will start. I think I'm hearing January.
Okay.
Okay. So look to January. Okay. I think that a lot of that is because as it gets colder and things like that, she's going to need looking after and help. So I think that really, I don't think she's in Connecticut anymore. I think she's somewhere north of there, a bigger city. And I think that as it gets colder, she'll seek some help, and that's where you'll find somebody will get in touch with you from an agency or something that she's helping from.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
you have a great afternoon.
Okay, thank you for helping me with the questions.
You're very welcome. You have a great afternoon, and good luck with your cat.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so we've had a lot of callers today, and that's really great. I'd like to sit down and actually chat a little bit about this time of the year. This is the time of the year when the veils between the spirit plane and the earth plane are at their thinnest. So coming up to Halloween is a really good time to book a reading, and I've just opened that day up on my website. So if you want to book a phone reading, please go to my website and book a reading today, www.bettyjaneware.com. And those readings that you have on October 31st are usually the ones that they flow easily, the information comes really quickly, so you can so for your reading time that you book, you can get a lot of information in quite a short time. It's one of my favorite days to read on, and I do wait till the last possible minute to book up. And I've seen this morning that that it is starting to book up very quickly. So go ahead and do that while you're thinking about it. Let's talk about making some magic. I know that when you hear my intro, you hear about my books. I've written 3 books, and one of them is on spellcraft, connecting with spells. I don't know if you know what a magic spell is or if you've ever cast one. And I know some of you will say, well, I've never cast a spell. But guess what? You have. Every time you blow out a birthday candle, making a wish, which is making a spell. Spellcrafting is magic. It's a form of magic, and it's practiced by many people all over the world. People have always sought to change our environment. It doesn't matter if it's our life, our job, our love life, our financial situation. We always tap into something to make it happen. It might be blowing out a wish on a birthday cake. It might be praying to your God. It might be any number of things. So people of religion have always been those to help make those changes or manifest those changes. So spellcrafting is something we do. It's about manifestation. It is the power of the human psyche. Us witches, we like to make things pretty. So we do things like we add some herbs and some crystals and some candles, and we realize that our words are important. So we utilize the power of rhyme. So all that bad poetry in the world, it's probably witches trying to make a spell. So let's think about it. We have an idea. We know what we want. So we put it into practice. We visualize it. We might say it out loud. How many times when you were a little girl did you write that you would be Mrs. Brad Pitt on your books? Well, in my case, it was Mrs. Johnny Depp. Well, I'm a little older than he is, but you get the idea. We all work magic in our daily lives. We might wish for that really good parking spot, or we might just manifest really good traffic on the way to our journey, or reaching for that last bottle of chocolate milk on the shelf. So it's all about getting the desired effect out of something that we want. So a spellcrafter we use our own energy. We'll gather our tools as a prayer. We ask the gods for what we want, and then we form it in our minds, and we think about it. We use a lot of different things. We'll plan, because you can't just, say it and make it work. There's got to be some planning. If you plan a vacation, you've really got to plan. Just because I want to go on a trip doesn't mean I'm going to. I have to pack. I have to plan the journey. I have to book a ticket. I have to think about hotels and maybe airlines and things like that. Magic works the same. So we allow the thoughts to take form in our minds. We think the ideas through. We plan the moon phase, the day of the week. We think about the energy. So we'll think about what color candles we'll need, maybe some herbs, maybe some crystals, and then we'll choose our words, our rhyme, our rhythm. Maybe we'll look about time of day. Maybe it's a spell that might work better in the morning or the evening. And so then we start thinking about it. We raise our intent, and we raise the energy. Remember, magic is attracted to energy. So how would you raise the energy? Well, you might clap, you might dance, you might chant, you might just rock back and forth like you would with a baby. And then you judge. When you judge it's ready, when you think the power is high, well, then you start. You keep your intent firmly in mind. You concentrate deeply. You've raised your energy. You've shouted. You stamped your feet. You dance around. You light your candle. You add the crystals and the herbs, and you continue on, and you just keep raising that energy, and then you just release it. You set it free. Let it go to the universe. And you can shout, and you can jump, and you can turn cartwheels, but we all have to tap into it to let it happen. But sometimes magic, casting a spell, it's not always a good thing to do. When might it not be a good thing to do? Well, doing it maybe out of resentment. Maybe you're doing it for the wrong reason. Maybe there's a number of other things to do. You would never cast a spell for somebody else or on somebody. You would only do it as long as you had permission, and that's very important. So there's some basic rules. So you cannot take another person's free will. You have to look at what the outcome could be. So you want to get back at them. That's never a good reason to. So you have to look at how it's going to work on others. Maybe I need money, so I pray for, or I cast a spell for money, and that's great. I get an inheritance, but maybe my favorite uncle had to die in order for that to happen. So you have to think about the outcome. If you're going to work for somebody else, if you're going to cast a spell on somebody else, you absolutely have to have their permission. And you should never curse or hex or do anything like that. You should always do it with permission. Before you do any magical work, you should always ask if the spell is absolutely necessary. Maybe, because you've got to realize that a magic spell is not the quick answer or a quick fix. It's about taking responsibility for yourself. Spellcrafting has good connotations and bad, so you have to think about it. As much as I might want something for someone, I have to consider all the options. So maybe a consultation is a good idea. You have to look at the circumstances that are around. Who else is involved? Who else might this affect? Should the work even be attempted? What state of mind am I in? What do I expect from the work? Is it practical? Am I asking the impossible? There's lots of questions that should be considered before you make that judgment. So when you're working for others or even yourself, you should always make sure that this is truly what you want. So remember, sometimes be careful what you ask for, or be careful what you wish for. Consider wants and needs, because what you need is often very different from what you want. So, if we're going to do a spellcraft for yourself, think about all the possible. Make sure that it does not hurt anybody or can possibly rebound on yourself in a negative way. I can remember once I got very angry in a parking lot about somebody who had stolen my parking spot. Silly little thing. And I wished something horrible would happen to her car. I ended up with a very expensive car repair. My computer needed to be replaced. Now, it could have been a lot worse, but it was a very expensive lesson for me to learn. There's lots of types of spells, and one of the most common spells I get asked for is a love spell. But remember, in doing something like this, there are some ethics. You can't take away another's will, so I can't make someone fall in love with you. And remember, my ideal man, well, you've heard him on the show before. He might not be yours, so that's okay, because I don't want to share him. You can't physically interfere with the will of a person, and emotionally or mentally is wrong as well. So the best type of love spell, and therefore the most ethical, is the one that opens someone's heart to the idea of love and new love entering their life rather than a specific person. Okay? So if you're asking to be reunited with a lost lover, you have to take care. Why did you break up? What were the reasons behind it? What was the relationship like? Are the problems still there? Are other people involved? New partners, etc. And there are other questions that can be explored. So you have to really think about these things. And if you decide to petition the gods for the desired outcome, it will only happen if it is the will of the universe. So never take your spellcraft lightly. It should always be approached with caution and respect. And as you grow and develop your spellcraft, you will learn more. And developing spellcraft will occur naturally over time. Basically, practice makes perfect. There's lots of good things you could do. And so I would, obviously, Connecting with Spellcraft would be your go-to book, and it is available on my website. And by the end of the week, it will be available as a download ebook on my website as well. I just have to get the time to upload it for you. But it is there, Connecting with Spellcraft. But also think about other books that might help you. Magical plants, essential oils, things like that. And maybe some, I always go to my dictionary of symbolism. So things, you might learn what color magic is and what have you. Things I cannot stress enough is always keep a record of your work. So think things like time of day, time of month, phase of the moon, temperature, weather conditions, what you asked for, what the expected outcome was, and what actually happened. Maybe who was involved, things like that. This helps you connect. Practice like this, keeping a record, it becomes a recipe book of such, and it becomes a way to continue to connect with the universe and your guides. Remember, when you're connecting with the universe or your guides, it's just a way of asking for a favor, and that's what we're doing. Meditate before you take a spell, or do some of that journeying that we've talked about before. Make sure that you're always healthy when you do this, because you do need to have some skills and some strength. Magic is not always the answer, so make sure that be really sure that using magic is the best possible way to go about this. Listen to your own intuition. If it feels right, do it. If it feels wrong, then maybe you have to explore that. So learn to recognize and raise your own energy. To be a person that is using spellcraft, you have to be creative and imaginative, sensitive, poetic, and able to listen to the different vibrations of the world around us. Be empathetic to others, magical. So we have to use the skill set that we've developed along our journey. And it can be a spell for healing, for comfort. It can be a spell for wealth. It can be a spell for health. It can be a spell for a lot of different things. Now, some of the things you're going to use in spellcraft is you're going to call in probably a higher purpose. So you're going to call in a god or a goddess or possibly both. When you're out walking, you're going to look at the material around, and you're going to find some items that might be good to use. So you might find tree bark or flowers or shells, feathers and stones, whatever. You might find some, for instance, if you were doing a fertility spell, you might find an apple or two on the way. So you need to look at those. You're going to gather some different herbs, and you might actually start your own herb collection. Lots of different things are good for a lot of different things. Do you know when I buy a lottery ticket, I always keep bay leaves and cinnamon and black pepper in with my lottery tickets. And I usually win at least a free ticket. So yes, I have won the lottery. I won a free ticket. And remember too that maybe sometimes when you're working with a spell, think about who you're working with. So think about the god or goddess you're calling upon. Make sure that if you're doing you're calling upon the appropriate person. Again, this is all outlined in my book, Connecting with Spellcraft, and it's www.bettyjaneware.com. And just go to the products section and you will find it. Some of the other things that you're going to use in Spellcraft is going to be crystals, and they'll be associated with colors and magic, and different crystals have different herbs, and you'll be using those, and sometimes you'll incorporate them into candles, and sometimes you'll carry them in your pocket or under your pillow. When I do readings, I always carry black hematite. It's always on my person. It's like when I burn smudge, I clear the energy. There's lots of different ways. Another thing you're going to use in Spellcraft are oils, essential oils, and sometimes just a fragrance oil, because it might be more sensitive to the environment to use things. They're subtle, they're aromatic, they are lots of different things in them. So I'm just going to take a quick question, and then we'll get back to it. So if we can have caller 352, please. Okay. They seem to have gone. So now let's say we've gathered our stuff. We've got our herbs and our candles, and we've got our crystals, and we're getting everything towards it. And we have to think about the next step. But I'm going to leave you there, because I think on Halloween we're going to talk about that a little bit more, because I think that's a more appropriate time to finish the conversation of spellcrafting. So let's take another caller. I think we have number 201. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How can I help?
Yes, I've been trying to do my own rituals here in terms of, cleaning out my aura, putting things in order, meditating.
Mm-hmm.
But I keep losing things, and I keep getting distracted.
Yeah, that happens. What sort of things do you lose?
Well, I lost my keys. I even lost a set of dentures. Don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with a large volume of paperwork and procedures that I got to learn overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also dealing with someone in my household who's not well, and his confusion, I tend to pick it up because I'm the one trying to help him.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like a big mess.
I understand. Yeah. Okay. First of all, meditating is very popular, and I want you to email me at bettyjaneware@me.com, and I'm going to send you a passwording I use to help meditate and drown out the world. Okay?
What's the email again?
It's my name, bettyjaneware@me.com, or through my website, and I will send you a meditation that I use, and that helps drown out the world so I can concentrate and let what's needed in and keep out the rest. You've got a lot going on in your life right now, and it doesn't seem like it's going to end anytime soon. So for some clarity, I would suggest maybe that some selenite to clear. So selenite's a white stone. You can't get it wet because it'll waste away. But I would suggest that you carry some of that with you for a while and maybe keep it in the room that you work. I'm sorry I can't locate your keys, but if you can find mine, that would be a big help. My husband lost ours a couple of weeks ago, too.
And I never do that. I mean, my bundle of keys used to be so heavy.
Yeah. It's and I hear that. It's funny because I can hear them jingling, and I'm not sure where they are, but I know you've got more than just keys on your bundle. Do you have like lots of keychains on it as well?
It has a few rings, but it wasn't a lot of rings. Right now, my biggest concern is finding the dentist because I got to go to work.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I replaced the keys. I mean, I know what I'm looking for. It has to be right in my face, but I'm dealing with a lot of stuff from work, and then I come home to someone else who's confusing, and the confusion, I'm picking it up because I have to be the person to put it in order.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, am I creating confusion, or is it just that I'm the one that's stuck in the middle?
You're
what is it?
Stuck in the middle. You are stuck in the middle.
When I work with confusing people.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah. When you get home tonight, I want you to take some time to yourself, or whenever you get home from work. And
I'm home now.
Okay. Are you going to be home for a while?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any candles? Do you have a blue one?
I think I have one, yeah.
I want you to sit and burn that blue candle. Blue is very calming. It helps to get rid of confusion. So I want you to keep that around you while you work for the next little while. At home, when you're doing your paperwork and what have you, keep that candle burning. It'll help calm. It'll help create some calmness and get rid of some confusion for you. Okay? And then I want you to listen to that download that I'm going to send you this afternoon. Okay? And that'll help clear your mind a little bit. You can't ever empty your mind. What you do is you clear it so you can let the thoughts come in, and then after that, I'm pretty sure you're going to find the things that you're missing. But I have a feeling somebody else has moved them. Do you live with somebody?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I have a feeling they've moved them. They may not know where they are, but I have a feeling they put them in a very safe place for you. Okay?
Yeah, but I asked, and nobody. I don't know if my son did something, if he broke them, and he don't want to tell me because he's dealing with a lot of mental and emotional stuff now, and he's smoking. I don't know.
So I just think he's put them somewhere in a safe place, and he's done it without thinking. So it will show up.
Well, what could I do at work? Because that's a very confusing place too. Because I'm bringing that confusion home with me. Nothing but endless paperwork.
Yeah, at work you can't burn a candle. Again, it's about the color blue. So either wear blue or carry blue with you so that it's calming. And lapis lazuli is a great stone for calming. Anything like that. But the color blue is always very calming. That's why you see it sometimes in waiting rooms and things like that. Think about your bottles of cleaners at home, like your Febreze and things like that. That's always in blue because they want the calming effect on it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Well, you have good luck, and I'm sure you'll find it in a couple of days.
Do you see any psychic things going on around us? Because it seems to come back like clockwork.
Yeah, not at this point in time, but what I will tell you is that this is the time of year when, like I said at the beginning of the show, the veils between the spirit realm and the earthly plane are at their thinnest. So absolutely some things could happen, but at this point in time, it's just confusion that's in the people around you. Okay, it's not spirit playing jokes on you or anything like that.
And I'm around a lot of people during the day. They do have a lot of problems.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just it's the situation around you. It's not spirit. Okay, and we're almost out of time today, so I look forward to your email. And you have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye. Okay, people. So that's about it for today. Thank you very much for your time. And remember, my book on spellcraft is available on my website at www.bettyjaneware.com, or you can email me, and it's bettyjaneware@me.com. Thanks very much for joining me on the Connecting With show today. from you for next weekend at Halloween. Monday's a great time to get a reading. So book today on my website, BettyJaneWare.com. Thank you very much and have an amazing, awesome, wonderful, abundant day.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can seem intense. Like breakup R&B intense.
I thought you said you loved the sweater that I got you. If you didn't, you could have told me.
Geico makes it easy. Just go to Geico.com anytime to update or check your policy without all the extra drama.
I even had a gift